Welcome to the show today. Do you ever feel like you're alone in the world? Like nobody sees your vision? I was driving yesterday and Jovina was behind me. It was in the evening time. I came up on a stoplight and there was a line of cars in the left lane. So I got over into the right lane because there was only one car there. I drove to the front of that lane and Jovina got in line with the rest of the cattle in the long line. She was back behind me about 5 cars in that long ass line. And there was no traffic going into the next lane. And it made me realize that I'm alone. Even around other people, I'm alone. Most people are conformists. You've been taught to conform. They start teaching you how to conform in our public school system. It's based on how you train your rabbits. So when you come out of the school system, you are a conformist. And I'm a nonconformist. I've always been one. When people zig, I zag. When they zag, I zig. Or I see things differently, basically. Recently I had a conversation about religion with someone. And I realized that I'm actually really am alone. I realized that's one of the subjects I really can't discuss with people around me. They haven't acquired the knowledge and they don't have the sight to see. Like I can't talk about religion with the Caucasian male older guy that's 67 that I train. He's a conformist. He doesn't think America does anything bad out there. He refused to see. He refused to see the truth. He conforms. And being a nonconformist, it frustrates the hell out of me. Last night, I actually called Jovina on the phone and asked her why. Tell me why you're in that left lane. Why did you think to get over? I'm trying to look for answers as to how the majority of people think. Why do they line up? It's freaking the shit out of me. And I realized, I'm alone. There ain't very many nonconformists out there. Majority of people, even including looking at me right now, are conformists. You conform in some way or another. And that's the way society is. Society wants you to conform to their rules. And we do need rules to have a society. But to the point where you're so robotic. Now, I'm a human being. I am a warrior male, as I like to call myself, because I'm fighting for what I want. I pushed against the conformity. My mom's idea of me would have been to stay at Pacific Bell, work my 40 years, or whatever, get my retirement. And I did something different. I quit and started a business. Entrepreneurs are very minority group on the planet. And I'm sure every last one of them was alone. I was talking to my son last night, Tracy, about, I think I watched a couple of videos on transsexuals on YouTube here. They popped up. I looked at it. Actually, Jovi and I started watching one about a little girl little boy named Jazz. And Jazz was a boy, became a girl. Then we saw one on this couple. The girl had been a boy. The boy had been a girl. And they were dating, and another one where they broke up. I was talking to Tracy about, he was telling me about this new show called Empire. And he said they made one of the kids in that show a homosexual, and they showed him as a kid trying to dress up in girls' clothes. And I said to him, homosexuals don't dress in girl clothes. Because I've got knowledge. I've looked at what they do, from the videos on YouTube, plus talking to my one friend. And I said to him, transsexuals do. And he started talking about, transsexual. He said the word she. I said, she's not a she. She can't give birth like a natural woman. See, I'm still divided on that, or I'm still adamant about whether transsexual is a woman or not. I don't call transsexuals she or he. I call them by the original sex, okay? Because that's what they are. I don't care if you cut the guy's dick off and invert the penis up inside, create a vagina. Can you give birth? Do you have the natural pheromones of a woman? Because to me, you smell like a man. And I don't care what kind of cologne they try to use. You can still smell a person's scent, at least if you're human enough. I should say, if you're awake enough, if you pay attention and smell, use your sense of smell the way it's supposed to be, you can smell it. I trained one, by the way. It smelled like weird hormone because it was on estrogen, and that interacted with his own body chemistry, and it was foul to me. Yeah. So he said the word she, and I realized, I said to him, I can't say she because I wasn't raised, with it. And that's what he started saying, we were. So it made me realize how alone I really am. You guys watching me, you would call it a she also. And you guys were raised with homosexuality in your face. You've been taught to conform to it. That's another part of the conformity program. And I started thinking as I went to the movies just earlier. I just got home from the movies a few minutes ago. I went and saw Taken. And I'm a type of person, I pay attention. I see everything. And I was recalling how the Europeans drew the heads of what's considered European, and then Irish, and then Black, and then Asian. They had this drawing. The Europeans have those high domed Frankenstein type foreheads, really high foreheads. I noticed that Liam Neeson has a shorter forehead, smaller forehead. I noticed that in the movie. For example, if you go see the movie, at the very end of the scene where the plane is where he stops the plane from taking off, you notice they left something out of that scene there that you probably won't notice. Just ask yourself, what happened to the pilots? They totally dropped out of the scene. I notice shit like that. Okay, that's why I always figure out murder scenarios real fast. Okay, so I'm sitting there thinking, and I started thinking about the whole, black folks. I started thinking about my race, and I started thinking about homosexuals, their push. It occurred to me that the society out there that dominates the world, that dominant race, my race in this country is just an adjunct to that. We're just there. So they include us in the TV shows. They do homosexuals now. I'm starting to piece it all together. We're a small percentage of the population. Homosexuals, small percentage of the population. And dominant society looks at where these people just won't go away. We got to give them something so that their people will watch it. That's why they put homosexuality in our TV shows, to attract other homosexuals so they can see some of themselves in there. They put black people in the movies. We had Forrest Whitaker in this one. Haven't seen him in years. Actually, I met Forrest years ago. They were filming a movie in town. I was an extra in the movie. And I also met Clint Eastwood. I did some small work as an actor. Yeah, big deal. But that's kind of stuff that I think about. Just as one small example that goes through my head. I wonder if other nonconformists who are also very right-brained and the type that sees things from the 10,000-mile high view and look above it and try to put the pieces of the puzzles together, that type, I wonder if they feel alone. I look at this community from that same view, and I see all these young men running around, bumping into each other, and that person they're bumping into is themselves. They bump into their shadow selves. I realize that you males are bitches to your brains, to your minds. You are your mind's bitch instead of the other way around. That's why you will never control a woman. You will never, ever have control over a woman because you're already a bitch. Two bitches cannot lead. All that causes fighting between the two of you and disagreement and unhappiness. Now, if you think about the conformity program, that turns you into a bitch. You can't control your mind. You let all of your petty fears. I'm only 5'5". I'm only 5'7". I'm only 5'9". I'm only 5'10". I've been there myself. I wasn't 6'8" like my little brother, and I used to try to stand real tall. I wore boots to make myself taller, and I stood like this every time he was around. There's a photo of him that I showed you guys where I'm standing like this, trying to get every last little inch I could in the photo. I was a bitch to my mind. Like the majority of my viewers, you. I'm talking to you, the person looking at me right now. There's 3 of you looking at me right now in the middle of the day. All 3 of you are bitches to your mind because you don't control it. You let it rule you. That's why you're single. That's why you're alone. And it sucks ass being alone. I just came from a movie. Do you have a girl you can go to a movie with right now? Have some fun with? Now, I didn't have any popcorn. I didn't have anything except a protein bar, but it'd be nice to sit there with some popcorn and a soda or whatever and giggle your way through the movie with a girl. If you don't have a woman by your side, then you succumb to being a bitch. I look at a lot of males, they want to come to me because I've got the ultimate knowledge. Okay? I know how to control a female. I know how to put a woman on my team and put her beneath me. And that's what they want. I said I stopped teaching that shit years ago, except for the people that I've gotten there. For example, Grease. As you've seen by the Grease videos, he's got it now. But the majority of them will never be there because they're a bitch. A fucking bitch. You're a fucking bitch if you let your mind control you with all that bullshit that you put in your heads. She might reject me. That's why I always make that kind of voice. That girly, slimy, whiny voice. Now at the movies, this big, large group of black kids came in. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck. There's already some Riris up in there. Riris are mentally challenged people. Excuse me. I guess they get in for free or a discount at the first movie of the day at this theater. And I thought, I would hear this going on all through the movie. They were actually real quiet. Jovi and I was looking at Jovi and I was making my eyes roll and shit. Fuck. So, excuse me for talking about the mentally deficient in that manner. But this whole big group of black kids came in. All of them with little girly backpacks on their backs. Some kind of girly, sissy fashion statement. I'm thinking, fuck, they got us. They fucking got us. God damn it. Turn these young males into little females carrying backpacks. Now, some jackass is thinking right now, that's a fashion thing, man. Let it go. They don't see it for what it is. If you're thinking that right now, you're one of those people that are the conformist. You're not looking at it from the 10,000-mile high view and connecting pieces together. Okay? So don't make a stupid comment. They were carrying backpacks with nothing in them. I didn't see one of them sneak some food out. I can see if you snuck some, a fresh bag of microwave popcorn and a whole bunch of candy. No. They got us. Years ago, girls always carried backpacks. It was a girly thing. It's like a purse. What the fuck do some boys in basketball shorts and sweats and all that kind of shit stuff need backpacks for? They weren't shaved. There weren't no clothes in there. Just backpacks. Conformist. I see one of you didn't like what I had to say. Conformist. Conformity. That's what the dominant people over the dominant race want of you. It's conformity. They want you to conform so they can do whatever the fuck they want to do. And people like me, they want gone. Number one, I don't conform. Number two, I can see what they're doing. People like me, they want gone. I'm such a small gnat that they haven't gotten around to people like me yet, though, and others who are on YouTube saying don't conform and all that shit. I urge, looks like my viewer's back. I urge you guys to wake up to the truth of what's going on. Never in the history of mankind have there been so many problems between men and women. Where did shit come from? All of a sudden, with your generation, starting in the early 2000s. It started with just a small little group of nerds, internet nerds. Nerds is that they're super conformists. Sorry, you are. But with movies, the first hacker movie they came out with, they start introducing this character called the nonconformist. Nerd. And some of you guys might idealize yourself as nonconformists, but then when you look at your real lives, you actually do conform. So they don't want you breeding. So how do all these problems, this ego shit, come up all of a sudden? And they create all these new diseases. I get social anxiety. When in the history of mankind has a man been afraid of other, so fucked up he can't go around other people? And I know there's now shy people. I was one myself. But think about the real history of man and see it through real eyes. I got social anxiety. I got approach anxiety. Like you're the first man that ever was afraid to approach a girl. So we call it anxiety. They create diseases for you so you could hide behind that and not improve yourself, not get over the shit. Something that you could blame it on. Of course, being conformist, you run to it. The moment you start conforming, the moment you become a bitch. They use your brain to make you into a bitch. Look how you're struggling to get women out there. The small thing that we deal with on this video blog. Females getting laid. So of course, being conformist, and they throw you in their porn. Look how many guys are addicted to porn now. Look how your drive to go meet women is all fucked up. All because you conformed. You became a bitch. Then you whine about this whole alpha male thing that, why are you being alpha male? You became a bitch. You gotta at least look at it to see the truth. You don't control your mind. Your mind controls you. Right now, someone's thinking about, what about you? I learned to control my mind. I learned to control myself. That's how I became a master of women. And I've already proved myself, so I don't need to prove myself. If you're a new person, go back and look at my old videos. I showed you proof. I've read you proof. I put the document that I saved right in front of you. So I've been musing and thinking today about being a nonconformist and how it just feels so fucking alone. Nobody to really converse with. Someone asked me the other day in a private consultation. He said, since he became a player, he feels alone. And I explained to him, when you start becoming a player, my type of player, not black ghetto players with a bunch of baby mamas. I'm talking about a real player of life. That when he turns attention to women, boom, he's got women. When he turns attention to start a business, he goes out and starts a business. Okay? When you become a player, rest of humanity is down here. And they have gotten so strong in their conformity program, they've got other males turn against you just because you're a player. They've got women to secretly want you, but that's the first thing they ask. Are you a player? Your friends desert you. When I was on the Pimps Network, they always said the pimp is the loneliest man on the planet. I think anybody, and I've said this before, with higher game are lonely people. Because the rest of humanity are conformists. Your friends, if you're trying to wake yourself up to the truth, your friends still conform. They're still asleep. They still are plugged in, following the rules. Now, some of you guys think, okay, I sped a little bit. That means I'm a nonconformist. No. Or you do something illegal. I'm a nonconformist. No. Nonconformity is your totality of thinking. You see the truth. See, I speed, but I don't do it just because I'm trying to be a nonconformist. I do it because at that point in time, it's the best option for me. I see the holes in traffic and get through. If you're trying to wake up and your friends are asleep, it's like a bucket of crabs. When one crab tries to crawl out, all the other crabs will pull them back down. So I explained, excuse me, to the young fella, Samuel, you know who you are, that's normal to be lonely. It's normal to feel alone. I only have one male friend that I can talk about the game and life to, and we do it. Which reminds me, I missed our call on the 6th. We talk every month on the 6th. Now, he may be on the other side of the fence, but I'm on this side of the fence. We can still talk about life. We can still meet in the middle and talk about life. Someone's thinking right now, how can you have a homosexual friend? He didn't start out that way when we were friends. In fact, he fucked lots of females through me. Yeah, I taught a homosexual how to get women. Maybe you think that way. But he was undecided, I guess. He was in the closet about his true nature or whatever you want to call it. But I showed him how to get females. And he decided he'd rather, be on that side. I don't drop my friends. We're not close anymore. We're kind of distant. We have this in common. We both are into metaphysics and life. So right now, I don't really have any close friends. This path is a lonely path. That's why I've started this whole podcast whining about feeling alone. If you start to wake up and become a nonconformist, you're going to find that you're going to be alone as well. Your girlfriend's not going to understand you if you have one. Your parents ain't going to understand. They're going to call you cuckoo or whatever because you're a one-eyed man in a kingdom of blind. And that's what it feels like. How about you? Leave your comments below what you think. We'll see you in the future.